Good afternoon, everybody. This is Leo here, CEO and founder of 𝗨𝗡𝗔𝗡𝗏, and today I have an honor to have Mr. Adarsh here with me. Adarsh is one of our students from our job coaching program, and he has done extremely well for himself. He landed a very good professional job, and I'm bringing him today so that he can share with you his journey with us and what has he learned along the way. And hopefully he can inspire more international students like you guys to join us and also to find a professional job that you deserve. But before we start, Adarsh, for those who do not know too much about you, can you quickly introduce yourself in just maybe 5-6 sentences? Who you are, what was your background, what did you study? Can you hear me, Adarsh?
Yeah. Could you repeat that? I lost you.
Yeah. Like I said, can you tell us about yourself, like who you are, what have you studied, and where do you live right now?
Yeah. So my name is Adarsh. I'm a mechanical engineer. I did my master's from Deakin University at Geelong, 𝗏, and then I finished my master's in November, and I immediately took up this program. That was around March, and now it took me a month to find a job. And luckily I found, with a lot of hard work, it took some time, but it was really helpful to take this program, and then I finally ended up with a mechanical engineering job. That includes both technical and both practical moments, and it's fun. I'm liking it. So
okay, good. No, we don't sell yourself too much, man. Too early. That the best part, we save it for later. Let's just bring us back a little bit. So what year did you come here to Australia? Which year?
I came in 2020 March.
2020 March. Okay. And when you first came here, what was the first job? Yeah, what was the first job you did in Australia?
I worked. I did quite a few jobs. You know, I did cleaning, I did restaurant jobs, and then then I did some warehouses. I had a few family Cotton. I worked in Cotton for a few months. And then I was in Coles. I was working at Coles for like over a year, and yeah, and I was with Coles until I came.
So you have been doing.
I was in Geelong. All of these jobs. Were,
okay, so you have been doing a lot of many different odd jobs.
Yes, very odd jobs, part times, casuals, random jobs that comes up, and
okay. So when did you start to really take this professional job seriously? When do you start to take this thing seriously?
It was always in my mind to be a mechanical engineer, but didn't know where to start, didn't know how to go, and then it eventually ended up being here. You know, actually, it's more of it has a bit of hard work, but beyond that, it's luck, and I feel it's something that I don't know, even I still can't figure out how it happened, but the fact that it happened actually makes me happy. So
we will talk more about how it happened, because that would be interesting to talk about that. Now, obviously, as you know, a lot of students watching this, they are struggling a lot. They try many different ways. They apply for hundreds of jobs, but then they didn't get it. So for your case, before joining us, did you apply many jobs as well? Have you been trying?
Indeed, I did. Yes, and it was a severe time. I mean, it was a period where all I could see was rejections. Put in like 15-20 applications a day, and then in different sites, Seek, LinkedIn, and nothing showed up positive. Not even a close by call where you can say, "Oh, they might call me," and
wow. So how does that make you feel at that time?
Might have a look at me. So nothing, straight away rejections, and it was frustrating, but yeah. But
I can imagine.
I could keep myself motivated, because people tell me that you will end up one day with a job, but it's not you can't it's not inevitable. I mean, you can't get rid of that. You need to have rejections to learn how you go, to value how things go. So I feel it's part of it, but and I had a fair bit of mine too.
Got you, got you. So obviously you also went through the whole process, and you went through the odd jobs and all the rejections that a lot of students face. So now tell us, before I guess you just like everyone else, before this program, you have also a lot of misunderstandings about the job market, like how does the whole job market works. What do you think are the major 3 misunderstandings before joining us that cost you dearly, that really, give you a very hard time? What was the 3 misunderstandings?
What kind of misunderstandings are you talking about?
Like, I mean, like misconception about finding jobs, or what was some misunderstanding?
Misunderstandings. I feel most of the people think that people ask for experienced people, but they don't go beyond what they seek. I mean, if they look for 5 years experience, they are definitely not looking for that 5 years experience. They can actually, they can consider people with less experience or even no experience, even at that role. So it's about how you present yourself. And and the major part is most of these jobs that I have been into, or most of these jobs that we look into, is not I mean, it's not been published, or nothing has been very eminently given outside. So it has been it's like in a closed circle where you need to get into that, and then maybe once you put yourself in that shoe, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. I mean, like, see, once you talk to them, maybe say call them, or maybe just mail them, maybe their response, it's going to be very evident that, okay, you don't have any experience, but in fact they will be happy to consider you if you have that relevant skills you can show. Maybe do something, or maybe show something to them that you are capable of doing it. That means they're going to consider you.
So what you're saying, that before this job coaching program, you used to think that they only hire people with experience, right?
Yes.
But obviously after the program, you learned something else.
Joining that program, joining the program actually did make me think. Maybe it made me think in a complete different way. It did change my aspect of what I was normally considering for a job. So it was totally different from what we expect and what we actually have in reality. It's I feel most of us are exaggerating, or maybe just assuming that we are not worth it, or maybe we are not fit for this because so and so descriptions are not mentioned there. And in fact, there's nothing like
exactly. And
just go talk to them. Even say, for example, even if they go for a higher role, they actually have the scope for keeping, they prefer keeping inexperienced or lower experienced people, so that they can pay less and they can get the same work done. So even they prefer that, and even we want that. So it's until this that I've gotten to know that.
Yeah, and I think that by knowing this, it really gives you an advantage over your peers, over your friends who are still stuck in this whole 𝗏𝗏𝗏.com, this whole bubble, right?
It did until I came here, but then before that, I was just like any other person, thinking in a very common way of how a normal human would think. So I didn't think out of the box of any of these things. So these concerns came only after that past 3 months or maybe 2 months.
Yeah, I got you. So now obviously a lot of people watching this, they already know who I am and what we do, but sometimes they don't understand much what this job coaching program is about. So let's say in 3 or 4 bullet points, what can you quickly sum up? What do you think this job coaching program is about, so so the viewers can have an idea?
Okay, it's basically about putting yourself right out in front of those employers, straight to the employers, rather than being a applicant. So you present yourself directly, other than a piece of paper. So once you show that you have a higher grade of maybe weightage or maybe preference over the other applicants because you are not presenting yourself. So the major impact of this is we are directly in contact with these employees, or maybe people involved in this factory, or maybe any of these works, any of these, whatever job may be. So we are in touch with them directly. So we get to know, once we get to know that, once we do that, we get to know what exactly they are expecting and what exactly we can do for them, or maybe show them, or maybe something that can be for benefit for both of us. So only then only after the, only after considering that thing, I felt like it was, I know it's, I don't know, it's maybe I'd say experience it and then you will know what I'm trying to say. Even if I say it, it might ruin the surprise, So it's a completely different feeling of it. To be honest, joining the program before and having the program after joining, I'm a totally different person in terms of these perspectives. So yeah.
Wow. I'm good. I'm glad it did that for you, because obviously if we go through everything, it would take a few days to cap up what we have learned. But tell them about the importance of cold call.
Yeah, in cold call is the major key for what we can do, because calling them, actually putting ourselves in front of them, we can express all our concerns, we can get to know what they are expecting. And cold call, getting through the receptionist or the other person actually is a positive sign. And I feel without the program you can't do that, because any common, any normal calling would definitely end up being hung up. So I would say cold call gives you that extra advantage, or maybe puts you, or maybe gives you that power to outgrow those, that barriers that stands in way between us and the employers. So
And before this program, did you cold call any employer before joining?
I haven't even known about cold call.
Okay.
I didn't know something like this actually existed. So once I got hold of this cold call, I felt it's even fun, because you get to talk and you get to explore. It's actually you might get rejections, but still it's still a good try. Maybe it's worth the try, I'd say.
Yes. And how important do you think is the script? Obviously, I gave you a good cold call script. Does that help you at all in presenting yourself and knowing what to say to the employer?
It did, but I felt confident with the script, and maybe once you speak more, or maybe once you use the script more and more, you get more fluent with it, and only then you will get to know how to use which phrase, or maybe which part, or what do you want to say at what part of time. So initially when I started doing it, it was bad, because I used to buy out the script. I never used to understand the script. I used to buy out the script, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna puke it out to him, and then let's see what he's gonna do. And then with the first question he's gonna ask me, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to tell him, and then I had to hang up. But then once you came in, once you showed me how do you do it, I felt that okay, it's not as difficult as I was thinking. So it's something. It's like the gentle thing, but what we don't normally use, or what we know we can do it this way, but most of us wouldn't have tried, I bet. So it's something very, it's good.
It's good. Okay. I'm glad you liked it. Obviously, I remember when we did a few cold calls together, and the first few times I can feel that you were still not familiar with the script. You were not very fluent with it. But as you start picking up, then you are more confident. You know what to say.
I remember there was a day we spoke for like 1 hour with the script.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, this lady was on the phone, and then we kept talking about her business, and then she was really interested, and then she was telling me what all we can do, and she wanted to improve the business so bad, and she desperately needed someone there. And then the fact that it's in Bendigo was another important thing that I was looking for, something that in a regional area. But she wanted more of a technical person rather than she wanted designing too, but she wanted more, she wanted more of a welding experienced person.
Gotcha.
And that's when she told me if I could get months welding training, maybe a month training, and she will consider me. But that call did last for like more than an hour. It was so long. It was the script, and then a lot of people, not only a lot of people mentioned that they like it. I mean, they like the way we present ourselves. So
nice.
they felt that confidence with the script. So
Very good, very good.
With these
And
responses, even we felt these, that
Mm.
positive things, even we felt, okay, even we can do it.
and you feel more confident. Like, the more you start talking, you start to build up
The
confidence.
more we explore with the script, the more we exploit it, not explore. I mean, we need to explore, and then maybe you should try out different things with that script. I mean, you should once you get used to it, you will know where to put yourself. I mean, you will know how to use it, or which way you can go with the script. So maybe try all these things, maybe a few calls, not just a few calls, make a lot of calls. Once you get hold of it, trust me, you're going to be pro at it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So talk to us about, maybe last two questions here. Talk to us about follow-up, Adarsh. How important is follow-up for you? Like, do you find it useful, following up?
In fact, in my case, follow-up was the major reason for ending up this job, because once after doing the cold call, my manager was kind of, he was contemplating, maybe, should I take him or should I not take him? And then one fine day, I kept texting him. We were in frequent touch, and then I kept texting him. We kept calling, and then we were talking, and he sounded positive, but it sounded positive, but it wasn't actually positive until I surprisingly, just walked into that place. So I felt that maybe it took 2 days, and then I didn't have the patience to wait for those 2 days. And then I decided to go into I was nearby somewhere around that place, and I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And then I walked into that place, and the moment I walked into that place, he was surprised. He's like, oh, you're very eager because or else you wouldn't have come in. So I felt, he even mentioned that you kept following so much, you kept following up on this application so much. And then on that day, he told me, yes, you can, we can consider do something for you. And that's how it came out. So I felt following up is the vital part, more than once the cold call has like 40% or maybe 40% or maybe less than 50%, but following up and how you go beyond that cold call and how you work on these, I mean, the inputs from these employees. That's what makes your thing in this job. So I feel follow-up has a pretty decent role in job.
Yeah, got you. Now, maybe for those who are watching this, they are very curious now, Adarsh. Like, how do you get this role? Now, obviously, we're not going to shout out any names here, but can you walk us through, how do you get these positions?
Okay, so it was.
And it was advertised or not? That's the second thing.
Okay, this job was not advertised. It happened at the very odd times. It didn't happen during the working time. Actually, Leo, you made this call for me, and that was after the office hour. And then this man was so good. He said he's ready to see me, and then within the next few days, I went and I met him, and he was talking about his company, and then he told me he needs to improve some designs and some work in his company that I need to help him with. And I said, I can definitely do that. And then he said, if I can do that, he's gonna refer me to another big company. His company was a very small, maybe very not so grown. I mean, he started just a few years back. So it's not a very established company, I could say. And he said, if I could do the project for him, he will refer me to one of his friend who owns a pretty decent company that I'm working in now. So he gave me this project, and I worked on this project. It was on FEA analysis and designs, and I worked on this project for like a week. I worked on this for a week, and then I sent it to him, and then he liked it, and then he was happy with that. And then he then with him, he came with me to refer me to my current manager. And that's how things started. And then we kept following up with the new manager, and then this follow-up came in. I walked in one day, and then it was an interesting journey, but it happened in a very quick time. So it just happened in like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. and it was not advertised. And
not advertised, yeah. And that's the best part, isn't it, Adarsh? Because it's not advertised. So you can get into the industry faster.
yeah, because I feel you have less competition, or maybe less. It's something. I would say it's something that you need to experience, if you want to know what I'm trying to say. It's not that these words can maybe motivate. It can maybe motivate you, maybe give you an idea of how things might work. But trust me, once you experience it, it's worth it. It's worth the experience. Because out of nowhere, I had these 2 weeks that changed my job hunting, and
yes,
it did work out. And it took very less time. I think I joined the program in March. And then I took a while to start getting involved.
Man, you're very delayed, man. You delay a lot the whole time. You were busy with your odd job.
And it took me a few days, I believe. So I think the first 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I haven't done pretty much nothing. I was just listening to your classes, and I wasn't prepared to, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? But then once I started doing it, I could see that change, like as soon as it started.
Wow.
So it's and it took I think from week 1 I started having interviews, to be honest. From the first day I flunked with my cold calls, but the second day onwards I started having interviews. I started having I even went to 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I drove from Melbourne to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 for an interview. There were a few two more interviews, and then after those interviews, then this one came up. So it came out in like less than a month.
That's still very fast for most of people. That's very fast. Isn't it? It's a very fast time.
In less than 35 days, I had this offer letter in my hand. So
good. Now, last question, Adarsh. So for those who's watching this, they might be thinking that this program is similar to the professional year. Have you heard of PY, professional year?
Yes, I did, but I'm not familiar with that, because what exactly happens in professional year, because I've heard of professional year, but I don't know what exactly happens.
So what they do is they give you like the 3 months internship, and you have to pay like 15 grand for like 3 months of internship.
No, that's not even close. That's
what they do. That's what they do.
It's not even close. But see, doing an internship is a long time work, but then you will have to wait for a long time, because you need to have that internship, and once you get that internship, not every company takes in.
True.
But presenting. See, I feel that most of the time in Australia, how things go is not about your qualification.
Spot on.
It's about how you present yourself, and presenting yourself presenting yourself will do the majority of the work than your qualifications. They won't be bothered if you have a master's degree or if you have just bachelor's. If you are capable to present your skills in such a way that you can impress them, then maybe that's what's gonna change a game. And then I feel this program is a good way, because that's exactly what we're doing.
That's right.
Working on our personality and working on how we can show ourselves and maybe develop in such a way that they have, whenever they look into our applications, they will have our face come to them. So I feel it's completely different from, as the professional you told me, the definition of professional. Yeah, I feel it's completely different. So
yeah. Now, definitely. Last question here, I bring is that is for those who's watching this right now, would you recommend them to join our job coaching program? And if yes, why do you think they should invest in themselves into this program?
Yes, I would say go for this program, go for it, give it a try. And then maybe, because if you have understood what I was talking about till now, it's all about, again, presenting yourself. So unless you do that, unless you get to know that, unless you experience that, you won't know what exactly you're facing, maybe you're going to face in the future. So maybe this way is joining this program would be a great sign, because it can boost your confidence, and it can actually give you that time as well. And it's not as pressurizing work as we do in internships. So we have to go there every day. We get this time, we get this advantage to do it whenever we want. And I feel it's good. It's something that you can look into.
Cool. Thank you so much, Adarsh.
I would recommend this program to anyone.
Thank you.
I still do. I keep recommending to people. So.
Okay. Yeah, now I know you do very well. And I hope that this is just the start of your career. And I hope you will keep working hard and keep climbing up and, reach for the star. And thank you so much for thank you so much for your support, and your success is make me very happy. Yeah, you know how
definitely it's your help, your involvement that did all these.
Yeah. I'm glad to play a part, because I told you that sometimes you can see that I keep pressing you, right? I keep pushing you during the program.
I remember being very demotivated, and then you were telling me at times, don't do that, just keep, let's go. If not this.
That's right. There are times when I feel like you are down.
Not that company, another company.
That's right.
Yeah, a couple of times. And it was good. It was a good experience. That 2 months was great. It was
very good. I'm happy for you. Okay, so Adarsh will stay in touch, and please, if you come to Tasmania, you know who to visit. If I come there, you gotta meet me next time. All right?
Yes, I missed twice, and then I'll make up for that next time.
Nah, no problem, man. You take care, my friend. You take care. All the best. Okay, Adarsh. Thank you for your time.
Yes, Leah.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. Take care.